Welcome to the AccuCare, the Shore Football Report Week 3 show. I'm Rob Davis. That's Scott Sump. And we have a lot to talk about in the Shore Conference for the Week 2. So, Scott, this was the first time I was ever on the sidelines with you as a reporter.
Now you get to see what we do the whole game while you're running up and down the sidelines with the headset on.
Those of you who don't know, I was a head coach for 18 years at Barnegat, and he would always listen to me complain during the game. The calls didn't go our way, blah, blah, blah. But you were so good. You were a straight shooter that would tell us the way it was, and you would walk away.
I just thought it was funny being at Point Borough and seeing you happily getting along with the officials. Like, hey, this is great. We're all friends now.
Yeah, you're right. But it was really something special. It was very contagious because I want to bring AccuCare, who is our sponsor, and I love them. I can't thank them enough. And did you know that they're working with all the athletes, Ocean Monmouth County, right through the whole clock, but more people are coming in as we speak because of what we're doing here on the Shore Football Report. So I'm excited that they're getting even new people going in there, and they're the best. And boy, oh boy, every program needs them because everybody's dropping like flies.
Yeah, I was about to say, seeing all the cramping and the throwing up the last couple of weeks, there's definitely plenty of potential AccuCare customers out there.
Scott, I think it's contagious. With all the cramping, I turn around, you're stretching your back out. We have other reporters rolling their shoulders. Boy, oh boy, we all were feeling it.
It's funny. I mean, I used to be able to cover, I'd be up at Rutgers at the state finals covering 3 or 4 games back to back standing up. Now by halftime, I'm like, my lower back's getting a little stiff. Like, I got to stretch my legs. Like, I got to get my football legs back underneath me.
I mean, is there such thing that reporters need to hydrate for games too now?
It's Gatorade. Just a quick Gatorade before the game.
During the weekend, everybody was paying their respects to 9/11, and rightfully so. A lot of great programs out there. We're doing some great things, keeping the memories alive. It was very special. I saw all the videos where everybody was at. So we're always thinking about those guys.
And I just remember back to that actual time. I was covering Shore Conference football back in 2001, and how everybody struggled. Should we play this upcoming week? Should we not? That was a really difficult decision, but I felt like during such a brutal time and a time when, especially a lot of Monmouth County programs, players had parents who died, relatives, because a lot of them commuted and worked up in New York City. That was just, football was kind of that little bit of a distraction for that few hours that week, that allowed people to take their minds off, the worst tragedy of our lifetime.
I was coaching at Lacey, and it didn't hit home to the kids until they started realizing sports was taken away because there was no pro sports. Remember, ESPN had nothing to talk about,
right?
And then we didn't have practice. It was a bye week. We were playing Neptune in a bye week, so it happened during that bye week. So that's when it started hitting home with the kids. Like, whoa, what do we do with ourselves? Momentarily, we were in a state of panic, and thank God. I would have never thought that 20-something years ago that we would be kind of okay right now, because at the time we were nervous.
Right. And I mean, and it's just good that the memory has been kept alive, because you think about, those players back then who were teenagers are like 40 years old now. So, a lot of the younger guys that are playing now, they weren't even alive. So, that they know what that day was all about, and that, it's still commemorated, especially just in this area, in the tri-state area. It's great that they, everything that they keep doing every year to make sure to mark that day and remember it and never forget it.
Yeah, I love the helmets with all the flags on it. I think Southern has one. Wall, Manalapan. Well, Manalapan Wall, they look the same except the W and the M. But, everybody paying tribute. It's great that, people are still, focused on those memories, right there. And that's what I love. Before the game, everybody's united. There's no, opponents when we're saluting to the flag, doing all that stuff. And, I always said this, Scott, that the real heroes are not LeBron James. It's not Tom Brady. When we have an emergency at our house, we don't scream out, "Hey, is Tom Brady around?" We ask for the police officer or the nurse or the doctor, and they're the true heroes.
Absolutely, and they have a presence at every high school game.
Yeah.
Whenever something really bad happens on the field, and God forbid you need an ambulance, you need an athletic trainer to rush out there and help. I mean, those people, that shows how important their jobs are even just working at a high school football game.
They're the ones who should be making the $1 million. Instead, I don't hear police officers saying, "Can I sit out? I want to rest my body for next week or something like that." But
now you're getting into grumpy old man territory. You're going to start yelling at the clouds soon. But the good thing is, it was a great weekend of football. In addition, we were at Point Borough Manasquan. We'll get into that. I went to the Monmouth University Fordham game on Saturday, which was incredible. 52-49, 1,400 yards of offense. And there was a lot of former Shore Conference stars in that game. It was a ton of fun to watch. So yeah, it was a great weekend of football that I can't wait to start breaking it all down.
Let's make a truce. Let's agree on something. Let's talk Shore Conference football, and let's never bring up the New York Jets ever on our show ever.
Yeah. I watched the full game yesterday. The other day. That might be the only full game beginning to end that I watched this whole year.
It's ridiculous.
If the weather's even mildly nice, I will be outside doing something more productive with my time than making myself angry for 3 hours.
I may be gardening now every Sunday and enjoying it. All right, let's get going. You ready?